Hope everyone's doing great today. So today we're going to be talking about some defensive stocks. So here we can see the utilities sector. It's obviously a very defensive sector. If you look at its performance for the year, we'll look at it compared to the S&P. As you can see, it's held up a lot better than the S&P. It definitely doesn't go down as much as sector as much as the S&P does in the down days and whatnot. So yeah, we'll look at healthcare here. You can see its performance for the year. It's held up nicely too. It's obviously down. I think every single sector is down. Every one of these spiders or sectors, we call them, are down, unfortunately, except energy. That's up, I think, 30-some% year to date, except energy, obviously. But anyways, you can see it, and then we'll compare it to the S&P. Definitely held up better, especially recently since we've been going into this bear market. We'll have a look at consumer staples as well. You can see it compared to the S&P. Can definitely notice the uptick in volume here a little bit anyways, somewhat, since the recession fears. A lot of people somewhat say that staples are expensive, but they're definitely a good place to be right now, in my mind, especially since we have I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel something, dare I say, in the economy is going to break by the Fed, raising rates and so much. I have a video on it before if you guys want to check it out. But anyways, we'll look at Procter Gamble. Everybody knows them. Good, solid defensive stock for sure. Can't go wrong here at all. Maybe a little bit expensive, but you could argue that it's justified. So, especially, these days. But yeah, look at it and then we'll just compare it to the S&P again there. I'll have a look at Algonquin Utilities and Power. This is a company that I really like. I talked about them last video, but they've got this really good dividend here, very defensive stock, and then they also have a lot of growth coming. They've done all these acquisitions before. If you'll have a look at everything, I think they're going to close one of the big deals of Kentucky. I think it's Kentucky Power. I'm not quite sure, but they'll close it, I think, Q3, I believe. It should be coming up soon here. They'll close that deal, and they have a few other deals and stuff. So a lot of growth coming, a lot of deals actually. But yeah, so it's got me really excited, and they've got, they've been a bit of a dividend aristocrat, and want to be careful with what I say, because I know a dividend aristocrat is someone who, like P&G, I guess, who raises every year for a long time, and these guys have only been raising the dividend every year for I'm not sure how long, but it's been a streak. So yeah, have a look at it, and then we'll go look at Telus. This is another company that I like. I'm also up in Canada here, so it's nice. Again, nice big dividend. They are aiming to increase dividend, I believe, for next 5 years or so. Every year they're going to do it for next 5. They also have they should have a lot of growth. They've been doing a lot of investing. If you look at kind of all their news, you'll see all this stuff here, all these deals and stuff. It's interesting. I think it's a bit, you don't want to be really spending a whole lot of money right now, obviously, but you could argue it. You just want to do it now while interest rates are somewhat low. Obviously, you don't want to. There's all this focus on, I guess call it capital and whatnot, more than ever on Wall Street these days. The money losing companies being absolutely destroyed and whatnot. But anyways, yeah, I really like Telus. It's like, for those who don't know, I forgot, sorry, I figured everyone would kind of know it, but it's a cell phone company. They sell cell phones and they provide service. So, you're never going to not stop paying your cell phone bill. You obviously need that. There'll always be people buying phones, and they also do internet, and they have all kinds of stuff. They even have like, I think a little bit of healthcare and agriculture technology stuff. It's really interesting. I really like it. They have a lot of different stuff going on. It's got, relatively high PE, and it's come down a lot lately. In my mind, it's a really good place to buy into here if we look. But yeah, and then I'll look at Altria. They've had this, I think it's been this huge slide because of the Juul news. You can see it right here. Basically, Juul is being ordered to stop selling Juuls by the US courts or somebody, and then they recently just like filed a lawsuit or filed their whatever, to make sure that trying to get it so that they could still sell them, and they block that motion banning them. And apparently if they do not, if they're unable to win that, the Juul Labs, not Altria itself, obviously, but the Juul Labs will be filing for bankruptcy, apparently, if they lose. But either way, look at this huge dividend here. It's a cigarette company. I, think what you want, but yeah, I personally I would not, just because I don't like, I wouldn't invest in this personally, but and in general though, it's a great stock, but it really, look at the 8% dividend, it's crazy, and it's come down a whole lot lately. And yeah, and then we'll look at, this is something a little bit different. It's called, you can see it here, HDIF. I think it's on the TSX, so it's HDIF.to. I really like this one. It's got a huge dividend. Dividends can definitely be they're definitely defensive, obviously. So I really like to have, especially these days, I have a lot of dividends that are 6, 7, 8, 9, like this one. It's a rare one. I picked it because it has a super high dividend. And you can see, we'll look at its portfolio. It's every month. And what it is, it's, yeah, you can see it here. And then they basically have a lot of their their own things that they run. I really like this Harvest portfolio groups as well. I have a lot of stocks from them, and that's mainly where I get the 7, 8, 9% dividends, and I really like it. I also have Wealthsimple up in Canada here, so I don't pay any fees at all on the ETFs or for transactions, nothing. So I get like the full 6, 7, 8, 9%. It's pretty good. And we'll have a look at finally Cvs Health here. It's come down a lot more than some of these other guys. If we look at P&G, well, not that much, mind you, but it's more of a straight down trend, somewhat to a degree. But anyways, you can see it here. It's a defensive stock. It's got a nice little dividend. Can't go wrong with it. But yeah, especially, we're gonna probably be in a recession here, and obviously the market has come down a lot. We're in a bear market, so defensives are definitely really important to have, especially if you think if you think like me, like this is just going to get worse. Obviously, I think it's really important to have defensives, and you should just have them in your portfolio in general, but I'd argue now more than ever you really should. So yeah, dividends are great for sure. You can get them paid. Some of them are paid monthly or quarterly, so every 3 months. And yeah, that's all, guys. Just wanted to do a quick little video on that. So I hope everyone's doing great, and yeah.